Hello and welcome to Time About the Movies Flashback as we're heading into the final month of 1987, which coincidentally is the first month of 1987, January, as we're starting it off with January 30th, 1987, with 3 films to take a look at. And so let's start off with the biggest of the new releases, and this was back when, hey, January wasn't always considered a dumping month. There were some people that had movies that said, look it, let's put it in there. I mean, granted it's the last days of January 1987, but still better than some of the crap we get to start the month off. Shelley Long and Bette Midler in the comedy Outrageous Fortune.
Called the first female buddy action comedy ever made. Outrageous Fortune is a lively story about a pair of rivals who strike up an unlikely friendship as Lauren, played by Shelley Long, and Sandy, played by Bette Midler, are thrown together in an outrageous cross-country escapade.
Frisk 'em! Nice burns, boys. You've been working out?
And Shelley and Bette play 2 budding actresses who discover to their horror that Michael, played by Peter Coyote, has romanced them both. When he suddenly disappears, these 2 colorful opposites must learn to get along in order to find their man.
Yeah, take that, feds. We know you came out a year and a half later, but we were the first female action comedy ever made that most people remember. But I'm pretty sure there probably is at least 1 or 2 that came before that we'll eventually get to here. But Outrageous Fortune. You have Shelley Long and Bette Midler as Lauren and Sandy, who are total opposites, who end up in the same acting class and who don't know they are sharing a lover, played by Peter Coyote. When he disappears under mysterious circumstances, they refuse to believe that he is dead and are the only ones who are searching for him across several states. Ending up in the western U.S., they discover he has other intentions as they find their lives in danger. And this movie was the big hit that basically told Shelley Long, hey, leave this hit TV show you've been on the last 5 years with Cheers and go on to a film career. And this success actually led to Shelley Long signing a 4 or 6 picture deal with Disney, and you can see what happened there. Probably the wrong move on her part, but to her credit and Bette Midler's credit, they are the reasons why this movie very much is a funny movie. It's a film we've seen kind of done before. I think The Spy Who Loved Me, that came out not too long ago with Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon, was trying to be kind of like a rehashing of that, and that failed miserably. This one, granted, it's not the cleverest movie or like the smartest movie in general, but it's still a funny movie regardless, and it works because these 2 work off each other so well. You've also got a good cast that includes Coyote, Robert Prosky, George Carlin, directed by Arthur Hiller. This was after he did Teachers from 1984, which that was okay, I guess. But The Lonely Guy, I think, was a much funnier, much better movie, and certainly a lot better than some of his films he did after this, like See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Taking Care of Business, Carpool. So you could probably say that this is probably the last great thing he ever directed. And even then, great might be an overstatement. It's a good movie. It's a good movie overall, and it works because of the 2 leading actors involved in it. And I think there is a lot there to admire about what they were trying to do here with this, and I think they played it very well. There's a good cast in here. The comedy is really good. The writing by Leslie Dixon is really good too. I mean, Leslie Dixon has written a lot of great stuff that we've talked about on here. She's involved with Mrs. Doubtfire. She wrote Limitless recently. We talked about that on the main time about the movie show. She wrote Freaky Friday. I mean, this woman has written a lot of good stuff. And yeah, this was actually her first screenplay she ever wrote, and it's an interesting concept overall, and it wasn't like it wasn't trying. And it does succeed when you have the 2 leads there. Just the script overall could have been a little bit better, to be a little bit more unique. But as it is, yeah, it's a really good movie. It's a fun film. Very fun, very silly. I like it. Outrageous Fortune. Speaking of outrageous stuff, let's take a look at Canon's latest attempt to try to create their own Indiana Jones franchise, with Richard Chamberlain and Praise Against Sharon Stone in Alan Quartermain and the Lost City of Gold.
Alan Quartermain, the master of adventure, has teamed up with the most unlikely partner.
Eric is about 6,000 miles that way.
To pursue the dream of a lifetime.
It's dangerous and it's crazy.
And it's what I've got to do.
God. Guarded by a mad tyrant and his ruthless warriors. The odds are against them, and that's the way they like it. Richard Chamberlain, Sharon Stone, and James Earl Jones. In the adventure movie of the year, Alan Quartermain and the Lost City of Gold.
I literally thought I made a mistake because I did not see what the first film was, but no, it's a sequel to King Solomon's Mine, so take that for what you will. This is based off of a series of books by H. Rider Haggard and, Canon Films. This was back when this was their bread and butter. They try to make these, prestigious, awards pictures, but they also do these campy comedies and campy action films. We just talked about I can't remember. Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone, which comes out the next month. And while this one is nowhere near as silly and ridiculous, it's, again, not bad in general in terms of what they were trying to accomplish. You have Richard Chamberlain back as Alan Quartermain, who once again teams up with Jesse Houston, played by Sharon Stone, with the discovery of a mysterious old gold piece sends Quartermain looking for his long-lost brother, missing in the wilds of Africa after seeking a lost white race. And as you see in the trailer, James Earl Jones is in the movie because why not? I mean, hey, James Earl Jones literally admitted himself that he did this for the money and also to go to Africa. Seriously, if you look on IMDb, that's literally the first bit of trivia that there is for this movie. And it's a canon action movie. What the hell did you think you were going to get? Yeah, it's silly, it's ridiculous. It's obviously Canon Films trying to say, we could do Indiana Jones 2 and have the budget. And, I mean, no, I'm not even going to say that. I was going to say, at least it's better than Temple of Doom, but no. I, as somebody who doesn't like Temple of Doom, even I can't say those words out there. It'd be like me saying, Larry the Cable Guy is on the same level as Naked Gun. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. But that is something I said back when I was in high school about the first Larry the Cable Guy movie, Health Inspector. And I've regretted that decision ever since. And I feel bad because I've insulted a great comedy in The Naked Gun. And yeah, you get the idea here. But this film, it is what it is. It's a movie that is ridiculous and silly, and if you know what you know going into it, you know it's going to be what it is. So take that for what you will. Silly, cheesy fun, but then again, that's what you expect from Canon Films, and this is definitely a Canon film that's worth it. And, it was unfortunately one of many films that they did in 1987 that actually led to their studio shutting down because, of course, we had this, we had Over the Top, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, Masters of the Universe. Yeah, wasn't a great year for them in general, but I can't even say that this is the best Canon film that they did in 87 because we had Over the Top that came out this year. So, yeah, that is, bottom line, fun movie. It is what it is. Go into it knowing what it is, and you'll have a good time with it. So, let's go ahead and move on to our last movie, the second Woody Allen movie we've looked at in the last couple weeks, because I made a mistake on thinking that Hannah and Her Sisters came out in 87, but that came out in 86, so here's the 87 Woody Allen movie, Radio Days.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin.
Remember the days when radio ruled the airwaves?
Yes, that too.
Game shows were live and gossip lively.
Clark Gable was in town this week. And where did he go? To El Morocco.
Woody Allen recalls the days when radio was king.
Be sure and tune in tomorrow for another adventure of the Masked Avenger.
Beware, evildoers, wherever you are.
Radio Days. Thursday.
So yeah, this is Woody Allen essentially doing a movie about a reflective film about his life, pretty much. You could say that about most of his movies, but it's a film that is about a man reminiscing about his youth, growing up in the 1930s and 40s in New York, and we see and hear stories of himself, his parents, neighbors, and friends, and local celebrities. The common denominator in all these stories and the overarching plot is the presence of the radio. It brought music, news, story, escape, and comfort, made stars out of everyday people, and was often the glue in families and relationships. And as I said, this was actually Woody Allen's first big film for 1987. Did he have another movie that I already looked at? Besides Hannah and His Sisters, which I said before, that came out in 86. Yeah, he did another one that we looked at the end of the year with September, which was basically his Uncle Vanya, which didn't work out so well. This one features the cast of basically Woody Allen regulars: Danny Aiello, Jeff Daniels, Mia Farrow, Robert Joy, Julie Kavner, Kenneth Mars, Tony Roberts, Wallace Shawn, Michael Tucker, Diane Wiest, Seth Green in one of his earliest film appearances playing the young Joe in here. And it's a film that you can tell that Woody Allen's paying homage to Federico Fellini. And if you've seen All About Eve and its classic movies like 9½, and those movies like that, you can definitely see that in here. It's a very good tribute to that legendary filmmaker's work, and a great cast, a great unique visual style. Like something that this movie kind of reminds me a little bit of Barry Levinson's Avalon a little bit for how stylish it looks, because it does look like it looks like the literal definition of a 30s, 40s period piece. Like you're literally taken back in time. And it's a film that doesn't get the attention that it deserves. It didn't do gangbuster business at the box office. It actually didn't do good business at all. It didn't even bring back its $16 million budget. It kind of came and went. But it has since gone on to have this legacy behind it. It did get nominations for Oscars, including Best Original Screenplay and Best Art Direction. And it's a really good movie. It's a very ambitious film, a very unique film for Woody Allen. And it shows you what Woody Allen does so well. I always say it with Woody Allen films. They're like Wes Anderson movies. It's Woody Allen doing what Woody Allen does best. And for that, you got to give him a lot of credit for it. But at least Wes Anderson has much better, as a whole slate of much better movies than Woody Allen does. I mean, Woody Allen misses every once in a while, but Wes Anderson, at least to me, he very rarely misses. I mean, even the films that are not the best are still really good movies, and I like that style of filmmaking because I'm a visual. I like a lot of visuals, but I also like I like good stories too. So yeah, not much more to say about that one. That's Radio Days, really damn good film. And so, with all that said, we wrap up another episode of Time About the Movies Flashback, and the next time around, we're taking a look at two different weekends, because January 23rd, 1987 only has one movie to look at, and that's Terry O'Quinn in The Stepfather, the original Stepfather, not the god-awful Dylan Walsh remake from 2009. But then we also will take a look at January 16th with three movies. Richard Pryor starring in Critical Condition. We also have The Bedroom Window, which I have never heard of before. I feel like I know what that movie is, but I've never heard of it before. But we have that one. We also have Wanted Dead or Alive, starring Rutger Hauer. And so 4 films we'll take a look at. There is the Color Purple re-release for 1987, but I'll save that for when we get to the original release in 85. So we'll take a look at 4 movies spanning 2 weekends, and that'll be coming up next Friday on this show. So stay tuned for that. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this, and if you like this, hit the like button, subscribe button, notification button, check out the playlist, check out our last episode we did as well. The playlist will be over here, the last episode will be here. So, yeah, with all that said, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope you have a good day, and I will see you next time. I'm just kind of padding this out for no particular reason, so I'll see you next time. Till then, take care.